Hi, everybody. We are here today with Miriam. Miriam is an astrologer and has her own web page. She came on just before we lost our channel and had some really interesting things to say. So we did actually wonder whether it was a combination of a few of the people we had on with that information. But people were very intrigued with how you looked at things, by the way, Miriam. I,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
They like how what you said, and it resonated with a few of the people in the messages.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I'm sure because I resonate as well with a lot of people that come on your show as
Yeah,
well.
Miriam watches my other channel. Yay!
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Miriam,
yeah,
just
definitely.
to say, we're here with Patricia as well. Patricia,
Hi,
Hi,
Patricia.
Miriam.
Hi,
Hi,
Patricia.
Karen.
Yeah. Hi, everybody who is gonna listen to this.
before you get started into a little bit, we were talking on the other one, which is a shame because we had a technical problem again. Yeah, they seem to be happening quite regularly lately. Anyway, we sort them out somehow. Um, was the fact that probably because the Big Dipper goes around my house, I might be a lot more north than everybody's saying we are UK.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
we were talking about that, and you found that quite interesting, didn't you? And I also told you about the moon dragging the stars.
Yeah, that is something I don't know really how that would work, but
It
anything is
just it
possible.
just moves them. It just moves them. It's almost as if they've gone into the next second or something. You know what I mean? Like it moves them up and then it goes off. So it's just moving them round a bit. They still go off the same way. They just moved around a degree or a couple of degrees. I saw it twice. I was like, but I needed a 360 camera. I wasn't watching the stars behind. I was just going, holy moly, out the window. And it was pointless me even filming because it didn't mean anything. I'd have had to have filmed the whole thing with the moon coming across the sky, picking the stars up, bringing them north, and then going off.
Right.
But this
Yeah.
person, it happens on the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, and it happens twice a month. But if it happens in the day, we're not going to see it. And here, if it's cloudy, we're not going to see it.
Mm.
So you really need a night time when it happens.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, the Big Dipper definitely that has to do with the equinoxes, the seasons, the four seasons.
I did notice it, and I also told you that it changed position in the sky. Like it's not that. Sorry, it's not that it's changed position away from my house. Just the timing of its changed position, where it. And also one other thing, very quickly. Have you noticed that it's getting darker quicker
Yes, it is.
this year? Like we used to have a period of time when it sort of starts getting dark, and then it goes woof dark when it didn't. I'm sure that's changed,
Yeah,
and loads of people have noticed that.
a lot has changed. I don't know why that could be. Um, Maybe a distortion as well of our whole sky with all the chemicals laced in it that you get a different uh, perspectives. I have no idea. Or maybe there is another big shift taking place that we cannot see. So
Did you
that can be
notice that the
anything.
moon came up really north last night as well? Really north.
I can't see the eastern horizon. I can see very well the west. I can see the when everything is setting.
Well,
But
it did.
I'm
Even Patricia
nearly
was
in the
quite
center of
amazed. Even
Amsterdam.
she saw it in a different place, didn't you, Patricia? In your kitchen, you were quite amazed. Patricia, yeah.
It weren't so much where it was. It was the fact that I could see it from my bedroom. Sorry, from my living room window. I could actually see it at 1:30 this morning, and normally it's gone past me and behind me. If you know what I mean, like
Well,
half past two. Was it 1:30, 2 o'clock ish, round about that time? And it was up in,
yeah, no, for sure. The moon will come up every evening, about 30
Yeah, I think
degrees
what she's saying
more
is because
towards the north or
I was
to
sitting here.
the east. Sorry.
I was sitting here, right, and I get quite a good view of the moon. And the moon, I have not seen it that north in a long time. It came up like in front of me is this close, a row of houses. And obviously more in the winter and when it's southern, I don't see it so much and it's on the right, but I get quite a good view. Anyway, I've been watching it come up and it's been getting norther and norther and it came up really north last night. I haven't seen it that north in a really long time.
Wow,
But a
must
lot
be
of people have been
fascinating to have
telling
that
me
good
how
view.
quickly it's getting dark this year.
Mm. Yeah, I've noticed here it gets earlier dark for some reason. Yeah, what you say, suddenly, boom, it's dark. Yeah.
And I think it was the reader was the question more is that, you know, like you were telling us that NASA used the model, your model of the planets to as how far they are out, but you're saying no, it's not. It's another reason that they're like that in that order. Not because that's where they, you know, the order is a different reason.
Yes.
They're using it as the map of, oh, that's how far the stars out and blah blah. But it
Yeah, no,
actually,
it's not.
yeah,
Yeah.
explain. I think that's what the
Yeah,
person
because
wanted
you
to
have,
know.
I don't know out of my head exactly the path of Venus, but there, in certain periods, she is passing in front of the sun, so that you can see, which is with all these filters, of course. And somehow our ancestors knew all about that. Um, Let me see how I can show that. Let's go to luminaries and wandering stars.
Thank you very much.
Let me see if it is here. Yeah, this one. So this is a picture that you see in many ancient books, in this order. This the moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The reason for this is their the time they take to go through the zodiac. The moon being the fastest, going around the zodiac in 28 days. Mercury, Venus, and the sun, they all three take about a year, whereby Mercury is faster, then Venus is in the middle, and the sun is after that. Then Mars takes 2 years, Jupiter about 12 to 13 years, and Saturn about 28 to 30 years. So that is the order why they are put like this. And then when you get the elements, the days of the week. So we start at Monday, Sunday. Oh wait, I go the other way. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, so each of the planets or wandering stars have a day. That is one pointed star. Now there also are attributed to the metals. And that is, let me see, let me go here. That is gold for the sun, copper for Venus, mercury for Mercury, silver for the moon, lead for Saturn, tin for Jupiter, and iron for Mars. When you take the atom weights, you start with iron, is the lightest. Then you get copper, you get silver, you get tin, you get gold, you get mercury, you get lead, and you get back to iron. So those are the two different 7-pointed stars. That is what I said always, you know, made me wonder, how can they teach us at school that our ancestors were silly and they didn't know anything?
Yeah, just cave people.
Yeah, right.
So basically, it's a bit like we've got long hair, haven't we? They pull our hair off to the cave.
Yeah, bang. Oof. Okay, and then these are the primary elements: fire, earth, water, and air. And then they have the different qualities. Dry is fire and earth, cold. You have the planets, they are all made up of cold, wet, uh, moist, cold, dry, heat. I don't know really out of my head. It will come all there. So sorry. That once you understand that each planet, like Saturn is cold and dry, you know, the qualities, then they start to make sense to you why they are doing what they're doing. So I'm going to go a little bit quick through here. I think that is what you were asking, yeah?
Yeah, so what you're saying is all the stars are different then.
If we go to the stars, yes. Let's go to the fixed stars. Let me.
Could you just explain that wheel one more time so that in case people, because honestly,
This one.
the other one with the planets are.
This one.
Is it that
Okay.
one?
Yeah, possible. Here you can see. Um, this is the zodiac belt, and the yellow is the zodiac belt. Wait, let me just enlarge it. You can see better. The yellow ones is the zodiac belt. This is Aries. This is Taurus. Here is Pisces. The green ones are the planets. There's Venus, Mercury just goes around the corner. So in order to understand this, you actually got to place yourself in the center and see it around you. But then it is turning actually the other way around. So, and that is why I made another one where it goes the other direction, just for your visualization. You got to, yeah, if when you go outside, you can see it, you can understand. This is the ecliptic, or yeah, the path where the zodiac goes, and that is also the path that the sun and the moon travel.
Great. You had one with the planets, like you named them, and you said why. You know the years they take. It was on a circle.
That will be somewhere else. Let me go
Sorry.
here. No. It's cool because it is. There's a lot to be found here. We just had this one. I think here the houses might be.
Yeah, it was on the second one down on that list that you've just brought up. The luminaries and the star thing.
Okay, so one back. This one.
Yeah.
And then down?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I don't remember you going through all those, but that's it.
This one.
Yeah, that one. Explain that one more time to people.
Okay, this is Earth. These in the ancients they called these the crystal spheres. These are the pathways that the luminaries and wandering stars are traveling. They all each have their own path. That is the crystal sphere. They can travel a little bit like this, close to Earth and back, but they will never get into the path of the other. Now the moon goes around the zodiac, which is this. Let's go back here. This is the zodiac, which you could see here. That is the yellow Aries, you know, these ones, the Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. These are the 12 constellations that most of us know because of our birth date. So the moon takes 28 days to go around all of 12. Mercury, Venus, and the Sun, they take all three about a year, but then Mercury being the fastest, Venus the second fastest, and the Sun is the slowest of the three within a year. Mars takes 2 years, Jupiter about 13 years, 12, 13 years, Saturn about 28 to 30 years.
And the point that we're mentioning this is that NASA use it to place where they are as the distances, when actually it's the years.
Yeah, it's the time to travel.
So I hope that's the right question answer for that person, because they said it's really crazy because people were bringing you up just at this point where you're actually going to be doing a hangout with you. So synchronicity, good, good, good.
Yeah, great.
See, you're not forgotten either.
No, little things stay hanging, when it is the truth, when it makes sense, it sticks. And then you start researching, and yeah, then all these ancient pictures that you find, they start talking to you because you
Could you
start
explain?
understanding what it is.
Could you explain what we're looking at as well? Where we're looking at it from?
This
What this is?
this page,
Yeah,
this is my website.
yeah.
Okay, that is starconnections.nl, home, that is this one. And yeah, I think it is a missing subject at schools to understand who you are, especially when you're around 13, 14 years. That's the right time to actually start to get into these more spiritual aspects. And it would save so many trouble for children, if they get to understand that everybody is unique. And yeah.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Would you in the near future come and sit on one of our etymology hangouts as well?
I could try. Yes, I could try.
Do you know Josh X and
Yeah.
David G, that one with them?
Yes. No, I always listen to it, but usually in the morning. I
Because
never really make it in the evening.
whenever they
Yeah.
talk, astrology is a really big part of it.
Yes, I know. Um, I know, and that would be great because I might have just
Maybe
some.
they have some questions for you.
That would be great if they listen to this one and put some questions. I might be able to answer them next time or so.
Yeah, or like have this hangout and we can do it on a hangout. But anyway,
Yeah.
on to your evening.
Um,
You also wanted to come and talk about something, didn't you?
yes, I made a little list. That was the. Where did I put my list now?
But anyway, this is Miriam's webpage, Star
Yes,
Connection.
Starconnections. Oh no,
And also,
can't
what's
find
your
my list.
do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel. I put it here. Um, I also have another one that is normal Star Connections, but this is the one that I will put out some information on, and for the website, but also little films. I'm now working on a little sequence. Um, this is actually what I made
Yeah, because
after.
you're still putting it all together, aren't you?
Yeah, I finally have my house all for myself, so I have my headspace to myself. That I can just full on go for it, being inspired and create things. So that's cool. So now all the things coming together. The last time, uh, just before your hangout was been taken off air, I made this, and I was just because uh, I made this just in a few minutes. Can I show it? I just made it as a joke.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, please play it.
So I thought, if I can make that in a few minutes, what can NASA do in hours with people that do the whole day this sort of stuff?
Well, they're not doing very well because people like me can see it.
Yeah,
Not just me, other people, but you know what the other's happening on the other channel.
yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, it is funny, but it's not funny, is it? Like when I find this stuff, I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Exactly. It is just too absurd, to be true. And
Yeah.
everybody or the masses is still in some sort of trance, hypnotic trance. And it's terrible. Oh yeah, there's another thing I wanted to tell you about this channel. Um, I made some playlists. That's what I wanted to talk about. So there's some very interesting stuff on here. Yeah, Mark Spears. I was following him before he passed away. He was super soldier, as they called him. He didn't really like the term because it's actually more super damaged soldiers. But anyway, that's another thing. Dr. Rima Lebau, the box saga is very interesting. Now, Montauk Chiai, that is what I wanted to show you here. That was the last time when we spoke, not on air, but a few days ago when your computer froze, on the cultivating sexual female energy, which Montauk Chiai, that he's from Thailand, and he does world tours, and he has also his own channel. So I put some of his work on my channel so you can find him easily.
I just saw Patricia sub to you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realise it had come up on your screen.
Yeah, no, I normally
All good
don't use
things.
Firefox, so I need to change these settings for.
It's all good things, though.
Yeah, no, excellent. But it is actually what I don't know the names of these other guys that were talking about it, and also with the channel of Santos Bonacci with the sacred sex, the Tantra. It's very important. This book saved me. I had cancer in my uterus in '89,
Oh,
and I bumped into this book, and I was completely macrobiotic and absolutely no chemo or allopathic, whatever. But to really get to understand your body and to heal yourself from the inside is incredible. And for me, Montauk Chia is very, very practical. All the exercises actually start with the inner smile meditation. The inner smile meditation is, you actually wake up your organs, you go inside, you talk with your organs, you smile to them. And you start with the eyes. The whole nervous system is connected to the eyes. It has an incredible healing effect. If you take, for instance, I took a few copies out of several books of him. If you look at this, the organs, so each organ has a certain emotion to it. And when they're in distress, they have their own quality of disharmony. And by connecting with your organs, and that is before you do the Kundalini awakening, you need to first prepare your body. You need to be in touch with your body, because the awakening of the Kundalini can be incredibly powerful. And if you're not ready for that, you can burst the nadis, which are the nerve ends of your.
yeah, because you know what? Like the word disease is dis-ease in yourself.
Yeah, it's all in yourself. Everything starts within you. Let me just go out of that. So that's yeah. That will come on my website. I'm still working on that. I'm cleaning up some of my anatomy pictures so that they can be printed out and you can color them in yourself. Or what I suggest people, if you have a medical university nearby, go to the library and print out some coloring plates. I think the coloring plates are the best in order to learn the anatomy of your body. Let me just go here for a second, and then I will go here. Astrology and anatomy, because I've added there also quite a lot. Yeah. Go down here, all the cell salts, and I advise people to not go by number, but really know which cell salt you need to take, because the numbers are in every country and every brand different. That's very irritating. So, but once you know that Kali phosphoricum is from Aries, you know Kali phosphoricum. Um, we'll talk about them just now. I'm just looking for the anatomy. Oh, here's more on the cell salts. Sorry, going back. I think here into the mental path work. That is more the inner work, meditations and stuff. 5 elements. I did put it in. Sorry. Yeah, no, it should be there, but I'm still working on that page for the anatomy of the meditations.
It looks a lot of categories that you had to do.
Yeah, it is. It's like a full-on library here. Oh, this is also really, really nice. The Tibetan medicine Buddha. It's an amazing, powerful mantra and meditation. Then you will find here by music and mantras, Deva Primal. She has done some incredible work together with Tibetan monks and put the mantras in really, really nice music with the text under it and what they mean. So it's beautiful. This is a fascinating image of the Tibetan medicine. That is the medicine tree. So most people go here, this way, but then you get all sorts of diseases on this side. So in order to become a Buddha and tranquil on this side, you have to go all the way back down before you can go here. And then just the image itself just tells a lot. Yeah. Okay, that is all coming still. Any questions so far?
Oh, it's a really beautiful website. You know, all the pictures, everything. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
imagine that took ages to do that.
Oh, but it's a lot of fun, and I think it's important to make things beautiful.
So how long have
Miriam?
you been? Oh, gone.
Yeah.
Go on, Patricia.
Could you go back onto the salts and look up Gemini? Because I can't see the what salts.
Yeah, you go here, when you go to basic astrology, you go down here, you go astrology and anatomy.
Right.
You go down there. And then here you have all the different zodiac signs. Here's Gemini. That is Kali Muriaticum.
So do you think, if you want to start your healing to sort out your salts first, what would you, if you wanted to start, where would you start originally?
Yeah, it is good to start with, for instance, I know that there are different opinions about that. Some they say, yeah, you need to start the zodiac sign after your birth sign and then the 3 or the 2 up following, because that makes a full year, because we are only 9 months in the womb. But that is not the way I've learned it. I use it when there is a lot of stress in your chart. If you don't know your chart yourself, then go to your sun sign and the opposing sign, and then work with both opposite cell salts. So when you go down here, all the way at the bottom, you see here Gemini, the opposing sign of Gemini, that is Sagittarius. So you have Kali Muriaticum and Silica. So you can use both. What you can do as well is use trine. Now, Gemini is an air sign. Then you would take as well the Libra, and Aquarius is an air sign. A lot of people think that Aquarius is a water sign, but it's not. It's an air sign. It's very mental. air is connected to the mind. So you have then natrium muriaticum, natrium phosphoricum, and kalium muriaticum as a trine that you can safely use. Or you take the water trine. Once you know your birth chart and you know what is happening in the sky at present, and there's a lot of stress at some place, and there is a depletion. Now, it's not so difficult because you can't go wrong with them. If you have no depletion, you will just pass them safely out, no problem. So what I've done here, I've taken for each of the signs a little explanation what to do positively and negatively. I've chosen for the images from Geoffrey Boshart. He was a Dutch painter, and I really love his images because everything that is in there is specifically for that sign. And sometimes images speak more than just words. Okay, I'll go back here. Is that clear?
Yeah. You mentioned last time you were on
Yeah.
about that you do the birth charts.
Yes.
I said I was gonna go do it, but well, ask you to do one for me, and I never got round to it. So I'm gonna make a point of saying it now so that you've got
Great.
proof, and that if anyone asks me, I've actually asked you. Would you do a birth chart for me? If I
Yes.
how would I do it?
Let me just first finish this and then I'll go to that page.
Okay.
I added here as well at the bottom of the cell salts page of the anatomy and astrology more information with free PDFs. I added also that book that Santos Bonacci was talking about. That is the Cell Salts and the Zodiac from 1800 something. So you can press this and another link will pop up and you can either read it or print it. And here are some other articles and a chart, but I would advise to write the zodiac signs next to it or the names of the zodiac signs so that you know it won't be the zodiac order. Yeah?
Right.
Okay. Let me see here. Birth chart. So you go to birth chart. Oops. Yeah, here I explain how you can do it yourself with the print at the bottom. And then if you, oh, I need to change that. Progression sense more. Here, yeah, contact.
Hey, Miriam,
Contact.
Miriam, I'm a Gemini. I have Libra rising, moon in Pisces.
Ha. Well, it's better to talk about these things in private because you don't know who is listening, and it's an occult science, and I'm very, it is nice within a group to put the chart open so that people can see how different everyone is and understand why someone is the way he or she is. But if you would openly, for anyone to hear, you got to be careful. So you can contact me either here. This is actually the best way because if you would any mail, you can write me any message here. Then that is the best way because I don't really open my normal emails, and this will go through my website, and that I will check.
Right, on that, says for a chart reading, fill in the form below. Make clear which chart you would like to get. What is it? Red or
that doesn't matter because we will get onto Skype, and I can open anyone that you want at that time.
right? Okay.
Yeah. see, I got with this program.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is this moment, or actually, this is this moment.
It's a shame, really, isn't it, when you're giving us all this information, but really you've got to do it privately just in case.
Yeah.
After all that, we're
Yeah.
trying to, we hopefully want a much more open society, but actually, really,
No,
you have
because
to.
it is so personal. You can see so much in a chart of a person.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. You can see everything, in fact, if you know where to look and how to get there. What I wanted to do was a little talk about the
Do you know the sad thing
annular
about it?
eclipse.
You know the
Sorry?
sad thing about astrology is that they've tried to link it to like the Sun newspaper or some silly thing where that's silly
Disgusting.
old astrology, and then they bring up this little thing. And if people, because some people go, oh, that stupid rubbish astrology, whatever. But my look at it is when I've looked into it for myself and other people as well. I'm not like you though. I just go and get the information from somewhere else. You find you know the information, and anyway, what I'm trying to say is it is so you.
Yeah, that is I know, but
And people don't understand. It takes years to learn to be an astrology. The astrology years. It's not just something you learn in 5 minutes.
No, you can't. Not really.
No. For me, I did because I wasn't so deeply into it, but I had friends that did it, so they told me things, like what they were into, and I've never really forgotten those things.
Yeah.
I'm not you, but yeah. And when I had my birth chart done, I was like, wow.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's great, to it's also quite empowering because you know who you are. It is a picture of, okay, that is the challenges and the restrictions and the possibilities of the physical construction that you are living in.
Yeah, you say that though, but you know what? The public in general aren't taught that at all either. They're taught it's stupid astrology. Oh, that rubbish.
Yeah, well,
And like people who are really waking up understand how important astrology is in this
yeah.
whole thing.
If the masses only would know that most governments and all royals just use astrology to time their things. Yeah. That is true, they do.
I know.
Yeah.
Everything's numbers and figures, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, totally. As long as it's just the physical world. I liked I didn't really finish the whole talk that you had last night. I listened it in this morning on a similar subject. That whole finance, the whole money, that if you can't give, because I'm sharing knowledge, I'm giving this because I think it is important that this is coming out. I'm not getting money for this, that is not the point. That's not what I'm doing it for. So I think more and more people are getting into that. I know that for a long time people are laughing and taking your ideas and run with it and make money out of your ideas and whatever. But I think, yeah, that's their karma. So no problem, as long as it's getting out
What a
here.
beautiful woman you are.
All right.
because you're so true. We don't really. That's what I mean. Not that I can do what you do, but that's what Sun and Moon's about. It
Yes,
was about,
exactly. Yeah, you
you
attract.
know,
Yeah, you really attract all these people that are in this way similar. We are really resonating on the same frequency, but everybody is so totally different and interested in a different part of the whole subject. It's very interesting, but all the pieces coming together makes one big whole, and that's the beauty of it. And yeah, I'm I'm really really looking out always for your hangouts. I like it.
oh,
Really
bless
listen
your
to it.
cotton socks.
It's very difficult to find some good some people making sense, daring to talk about all sorts of possibilities and research. And I think over the last few years it has really grown. But I've learned a lot as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you know, they for channels like mine, they change the algorithm and put us at the bottom so people can't find us now. Whereas about a year ago we had the same running pitch as everyone else.
Yeah,
But,
and you even came up on channels that were not.
they've totally changed the
Yeah,
search engine, so it's much harder to find people like us.
yeah, yeah. It's sad, but we carry
So
on.
they're
Carry
still
on.
giving you the freedom to say it, but they've made sure that hardly anybody's going to see it. But I mean, if you trip over a bucket or you're doing something that they want, hundreds of thousands could watch it then.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But then again,
it's
you've just
quite creepy actually. That whole AI.
but you've just
You're dealing
explained
with
something,
a
see.
non-physical entity that is just creeping into your life through all these devices.
But you've explained something as well because you just explained how they've done the planets, and you know that's going to be, oh right, that's going to be a good bit of information for people, and they don't want that, do they? They don't want
No,
astrology linked to the truth.
no, not at all. Oh, what I've done here with my channel, uh, by about, because I had to go through this whole new, uh, huge, how do you say that? All the new rules and regulations. So
Right.
educational, what I put here is educational research into ancestral cosmology. Statements and conclusions are based on personal opinions. Parental guidance is advised. So I thought, okay, at least I'm covered with that. I hope. Yeah. Because, they can't just keep philosophizing out of people's life. You need to be able to philosophize and you need to be able to bounce ideas from each other. And it's hard to find people in your nearby surrounding uh, that you can talk about these sort of subjects. So we find each other through your channel, through for instance. And it's important to have these hangouts and to hear what people say and how they think. You don't need to agree, but it's important. Yeah.
But you're a wise person talking, aren't you? There,
Mm, I do my best.
mind you, if you've understood all that, then you've got,
Yeah.
that just changes everything, doesn't it? But I think that's the saddest bit is that it's a bit like the stars and all of the outside is just as important as all that's on the inside. But they've made sure
Totally.
that we're on the inside now, being funneled and controlled by what they run, and people don't realize that. And we're just even to growing our own plants, like we need to almost be educated now to grow our own vegetables. I mean, I'm just as bad, but I mean, I know my grandparents did. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, do you see how they've changed things?
Yeah. Yeah. And when they started also with the school gardens in the 1920s, that is all geared towards monoculture and artificial fertilizing stuff and crap. So it's just creeped in. That whole education system is so rigged, so bad. It's always been bad. Um, but anyway, let's carry on here. I want to show this as well: the houses, lords, and faces, because it was also a new addition in the website. Uh, Here, so these are the houses. The 12 houses are the divisions uh, around you in space that have different facets of life. You could say some similar as the Bagua of the Orient, but different. Same as the four elements, different as the five elements from the Orient. But it's good to know all of them, to understand them, because they are all connected. That's sometimes that I think that that part of our plane has that piece of knowledge, and another part of the plane has that part of knowledge. Now all the pieces coming together, and it becomes a whole of all the different facets of knowledge on healing and understanding and knowing ourselves. So first house, that is the self. So what I've done here is I put it in two categories, mundane and natal. So mundane, when you take, say, either humanity as a whole or your country, when you have the constitutional chart or something like that. But then gives you a bit of an idea what those fields mean, and then you can either go to the next one there or here. The second one is your possessions, your money, your income, your personal belongings. Third is communication, siblings, and so on and on. So each house is something. But now the interesting thing with the houses, they work very well in oppositions as well. So the first house is the self, and the seventh house is the other. Second house is your own possession, your own money. The eighth house is the other person's money. The third house, for instance, is short distance travel, lower school, your primary school, high school. The ninth house is long distance travel and university and higher study. Fourth is your home. 10th is your career. Fifth is children, fun, games. And the 11th is your friends, large groups of people. The 6th is your health and work, and also illness. But the 12th is serious illness, also secret enemies, jail, seclusion, all that sort. But it can also be sacred. I see it also as the sacred place, the 12th house. It depends how you use the energy. Because if you go like as a monk in a cave, you go somewhere quiet, that's also the 12th house. Same as being in jail, it's also the 12th house. So everything that is hidden, 8th house is also hidden. But
what people don't realize, is you've got your birth sign, but you've got those 12 houses, and in each star sign you are each of those houses.
Yeah.
So you're not just your star sign, and not just that, you've got a rising sign is very important.
Yeah.
And your moon sign.
Yes.
As well.
Your rising, your sun and your moon. Those are the first three things that you actually look at. Let me go here. No, sorry. Other page. The horoscope, I think. Oh, that one is empty. Sorry. I'll got to check that. Oh, I must have had them here in the houses, lords, and faces. At the bottom. Yes, this is what I wanted to show. Okay, you have, these are the rulerships. So what you do when you have a birth chart, this is the ascendant. It's always on the left side of the chart. The ascendant is on the right side. So this would be the first house. Now, Mars is the ruler of Aries, Venus is the ruler of Taurus, Mercury of Gemini, the Moon is the ruler of Cancer, the Sun Leo, Mercury Virgo, Venus Libra, Mars Scorpio, Jupiter, Sagittarius, Saturn, Capricorn, Saturn, Aquarius, Jupiter, Pisces, Mars, Aries again. So what you see here, and I've done other graphics as well that you can see it easy. The sun and the moon, they both each rule one sign. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces, and Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. I do not use the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I do not do those. I do not believe they exist, and I have reasons for that. And I'm working on a little documentary about that as well. That will come. Why? So this is.
They're the ones that take a lot longer as well. So it might be a whole section of us will have one of those planets in our birth charts. Yeah, that's the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, no. If you
what I
go
mean
back,
is, for 30 years, everybody will have the same sort of thing as whatever it is in your chart will be roughly the same for everyone, because that's where that planet is.
well,
Yeah.
NASA doesn't even know exactly where Pluto is. Neptune, they say, yeah, it is raining diamonds, right? And if you check on how Uranus was discovered, I'm not so sure. And I have not seen a real image of it either. And I think, it has been given to some fictitious idea. And Uranus, I would rather call him Uranus and not Uranus. Uranus was the sky god, the full zodiac, together with Gaia, where all the Titans came forward. So yeah, I don't know. It's, to give that name to some fictitious little space idea, I don't know. But anyway, it's I don't miss them, but that will come. And the system like this makes perfect sense if you do not use the outer planets. It actually came when Chiron was discovered, and Chiron had quite an interesting place in my chart, so I was like quite excited. And someone said, no, because Chiron, the whole story about Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay. But who discovered it? And that's a really funny story about Chiron, because no one knew this guy. There's only one photograph of him, and it's never seen of ever again. But you get books and books on what Chiron does in your birth chart. That's when I started thinking, and it's been a long time. That was before I started.
Well, they've adopted so much of our past as it is.
Yeah, they're coming with psyche, and
they don't want anybody to work this out, do they?
No.
For some reason, I can't see what a threat it is anyway, but they don't want astrology. They don't want crystals. They don't want all the things that are good for us. They don't want us to grow our own food.
Yeah, they don't want us to just be ourselves at all. We must be robot morons or something. Then we have planets in exaltation. That is when a planet is in its own sign, it gets a certain amount of points. It's strong. It's very good. Depending on other aspects as well, you can't just immediately say good or bad, but you get to feel. It's like layer on layer, understanding how it is being built up, and how to look in your chart. It's like playing roulette, Yeah, it's like, yes, falls right, yay, good. It's nice. So Mars is exalted in Capricorn. He feels quite good there. Venus feels very happy in Pisces. The Sun feels joyful in Aries. The Moon feels good in Taurus, and Jupiter in Cancer. Mercury feels good in Virgo, and Saturn feels good in Libra. So that is the second best choice for the planets to be. Then we have detriment. That's not so good, but you know, that's life. Um, so when a planet is in its opposite sign, it's called detriment. It's not really happening. I always like to take the, for instance, the, oh, that's more of it full. The idea when Venus is in Virgo, that gives a bit that Cinderella uh, feel, you know, like she has to be beautiful, but she has to clean the house, and she actually doesn't want to, but she's actually a princess or whatever, you know. It's like, yeah, that sort of feel. But that is when Venus is in her opposite sign from the exaltation, then it is called full. So I will write a text with it, what each one will mean. But it's nice to just check your own chart and see, oh, where does my planet fall? Um,
Yes, I
then
hope
we,
people realise to be an astrologer is not just a 5-minute wonder, that it takes a lot of
oh yeah,
learning.
yeah. Especially when you dive into your own chart, you know. I'm still looking at my own chart and I'm still learning things, you know. New things come up and, oh, okay, have a look at that. And yeah, because since Project Hindsight and 1990s, Project Hindsight, that was privately funded. I taught it as well in the first hangout we did, whereby the best scholars in this field have come together and have translated all the ancient scripts, and it is a still ongoing thing. So there's still old scripts translated. So the older they are, the more precise they are. So this is just the surface what I'm showing. But that's why I say, you asked me the last time, when will your website be ready? I don't think it will ever be ready. I will just add. So these are the phases or the decans. They're sort of co-rulers. So each of the sign is 30 degrees. Then each of the 10 degrees within those 30 degrees is again attributed to one of the planets. So the first 10 degrees is the decan, is a phase of Mars. Mars of Mars, it's its own sign. The second is the Sun, and then Venus, and so on and on. Here you can see there is a certain pattern that repeats itself. So this is the last one I've put up. I'm working on a few other ones that come after that, and there it is not in a similar kind of sequence. Especially when you get to the Egyptian terms, they are not really in a rhythm. There are like the first degrees here, the next 6 degrees there, and then 2 degrees and 3 degrees and whatever. And it changes. So that is very different, but that will come. So that is that. Any questions still?
Wow, amazing and very deep. That's what people, yeah. So that's the sad thing when they put it in the newspaper and want everybody to laugh at it
Yeah,
and make everybody
understand.
believe that it's stupid old astrology.
Yeah.
We've been going for an hour. We've only just started to get into things.
Yeah, let me quickly have just because it is, we have just such an amazing annular eclipse coming up. Now here I've taken Mangalore, India, uh, also Singapore, anywhere in the east, because there it will be above the horizon and they will be able to see it. For us, Here, this is in Amsterdam. Oh, no, that's not the one I want. This one. This is
One
in
second, it's
Amsterdam.
not showing on my screen yet. On the computer, it's not showing. On my phone, it is, but it's not showing.
Maybe it froze again. I'm not
No,
allowed to
that's
show
it.
this.
I've got it. I've got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you can see that in where we are in Amsterdam, the northern hemisphere, or the west. Anyway, this time zone, it will be at night, so we won't be able to see it because it is the sun that gets eclipsed. And when it is an annular eclipse, there appears a ring around the sun. So that's very beautiful. So it is visible in the Far East, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, all that, those places. Now, what is happening here, and I actually want to listen to Wakey Wakey again with his, he saw something, I think, with the conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn in Capricorn. But I must check exactly what, I hadn't taken the time yet to do that, because this is quite interesting. Jupiter is conjunct the eclipse. There's a lot of emphasis around the eclipse, means that if you would take this in a collective, in a collective picture, that means that we are far from our karmic destination. So what is important is the carrying out the houses that will just differ from place to place, like here. This, you know, that is the house is the clock, the 24-hour clock, you could say, that turns. So every place it will be showing at a different time of day. So we are really in our past, the Capricorn, the physical structure, the organized, the wanting to be in, yeah, not really in control, but just that rigid system. And it is rigged.
Many think that something's going to happen, don't they?
Yes. We need to break out of that and start caring. That's the opposite. That is Cancer. Cancer is the caring. We need to get into our heart and just
Hey, do you
get
think this means? Do you think this means that there's going to be like a big switch on?
Yes, but it is happening, and these things never go overnight. It has already somehow started, and it is wheels within wheels within wheels, and then these are all applying. This is very nice. It's applying. That means that the sun and the moon, they will go over these planets. They will go pass over the Jupiter. The node is always going the other direction anyway.
So you see this as a positive thing?
I always try to find the positive look of something that is negative, or there is for me not really like a positive and a negative, but what is given, what is here, what do we see here. If I see this at a whole, it's like people clinging into their daily rhythm, they're clinging onto their yeah, algorithms will also fall under that. The system that they are used to, the daily, the work, the money, the tangible things, all that. There's a lot of emphasis on that. But because it is close to the south node, and the nodes there are related to karmic destination and your karmic past. So if we look at this at a collective, what is being here is like on a collective, we're trying to hold on to the past, but we need to get to, the caring, taking care of everything that is alive, like the mother. The moon is
Some
black.
people see it as a reset as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit careful with calling it a certain name. You know, with the Mayan calendar, uh, that is also like it is correct. There is a big change, but it is not going to be from the one moment to the next moment. There will be places where there is disaster, and that happened already, and it is happening. We can see that. I mean, the paradise fires, and I mean, whether it is man-made or not, it is happening. You know, the disasters there are there, but um, I think it has more to do with um, going deep into the matter, and now the ascension that happens really within you, not outside, in you. So people are going much more to more the spiritual values and the human values.
Oh, it's
And
about time because it's
yeah,
pretty narcissistic out there right now.
yeah. No, that is the natural flow of how things go. But that's what I'm saying. The masses is holding on to this clinging of that matter. But we need to get, we need to let go of that. We have taken up already too many resources of this planet, of Mother Earth. We have raped her completely. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell about this. There's more to say as well, but
Obviously, would like to come back, yeah, and explain a bit more.
yeah, I would love to.
And I'll see what we were talking about earlier on. Anyway, hopefully I'll get the boys to watch this video, this
Yeah, and
hangout.
then I will here listen in and see if they have questions, or maybe if I can make it to come on as well, they can ask me
Oh, I think it'd be
directly.
really great if we put you and Josh and David together, but that's another hangout.
Okay,
Wow, very interesting, and what a lovely website you've got.
thank you, thank you. Okay, then I'll keep the 5 elements and the anatomy and the inner smile meditation for the next time.
Hey, just put the pause on, the pause button. Patricia?
Yeah, I've just contacted you for a birth chart, so
Great, I will get back to you very soon.
yeah. I I said to Karen the other day, I've read my horoscopes, you know, the paper ones and stuff, but I've never had a proper birth chart done, and I think it's about time I had one done because when you're on that journey of changing your life a little bit, you don't know where to start. So I think the first thing is a birth chart
Absolutely. Yeah,
and work from there. So
yeah. That's what they said in the what they say in Greece, that above the entrance of the universities, uh, know thyself. And the birth chart is the first thing to understand how the planets and the stars were and what the influences were for your physical construction, you know, your life.
I mean, it's really strange when you think about it that these planets can actually tell us about ourselves. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, yeah. And the more layers you start to understand how it is all connected, how your chakras are connected to the planets, and how other subtle parts of the body are connected to the stars, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I have one question. Why?
Why?
Why are we connected to the solar system and that? It's like, whoa,
What I think is why we are connected is because we are trapped in this physical construction. You are not your body. You live in it.
Yeah. But then the question again is why? who put us there? It's like
I don't think we ever will know, but it is the best food for philosophy, definitely.
yeah, I know. I asked too many silly questions, really.
No,
No,
they're not
no,
silly questions. They're the real questions. Yeah, no,
but it's what we do here while we're here that apparently is the important thing. It's not who, why, all those well, it is because we're curious. We want to know where we came from, why
yeah,
are we here, and all that lot. But
yeah,
it's more to do with how we are on Earth as
yeah,
opposed to just doing it and not thinking about anything, just we're born, and we die. We've got to do something. We must be, otherwise, what would be the purpose of us
exactly.
being here?
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you, and I definitely think so. And the way the pirates have taken over, because I don't think they're anything else than pirates, already for centuries. How they have raped everything, and the mess we are in now is far from human. It's far from our nature.
Yes.
And that's why, with understanding yourself, getting back to this basic, something they have deprived us from at school, when we actually needed to learn this, yeah, it will come back to us.
Yeah, it's all fascinating.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
Well, my pleasure. It was very nice talking to you again.
Yes, thank you very much for that. And obviously, you will be coming back.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah, and I hope really on a regular basis, because that's, I think, the best with this, and then we'll see where people are and what they want to know. And
But this
if I don't know, then
society,
I don't know.
I repeat it a few times. They've made sure that we don't really get to ourselves. They've made, we're worrying about this, we're worrying about that, always worrying about money and the bills and children and this and work, and it goes on and on. We've got televisions which drown out any space and time, because then you can't meditate with all these noise going on. And, like I say, we're not connected now to ourselves. They've made sure we don't think we're responsible for ourselves. And it just goes on and on. And the best thing anybody can do is learn who they are, because unless you do that, you can never connect properly with anyone else. And as we're here for a spiritual journey, it's so important.
It's not just about learning who we are, it's about changing things in ourselves as well. It's like if I realise that even though I might not know it at the minute, I might be doing something wrong. And I'm not saying that we should be, well, we should be changing ourselves to be whatever that is.
Yeah,
This
you
bigger
change
picture.
you change, you develop yourself from the inside. The ascension process is also an internal process, and to get in contact with your body and your organs, they are just unconditionally working.
Yeah, and our brain, one of our brains is actually in our stomach. Really, our stomach is our brain.
Oh, we have actually 3 brains. You should really go to my YouTube channel, go to my playlists, and check out Mantak Chiai. He is absolutely wonderful, very practical, and very easy to follow, and very simple, practical, understandable. The only thing is with him that when he connects the energies with the planets and the Earth, and you will get images of a globe. Just see it as a flat Earth, and the rest will fall into place as it should be, because you can see him also, thinking somewhere in the back of his head, like he can't really work it out, the astronomy as it is being told in the mainstream. But yeah,
we'll let him off.
the other thing as well is that this whole thing we're set up in, this system we're in, is so that we're not supposed to find ourselves. But until you find yourself, how can you, once you find your, like, for instance, I'm not saying life is perfect for you. Look what you told us that you've been through, you know, a few years ago. But you found yourself, and now you can give out to other people.
Yeah.
If you don't find yourself, you're always wanting it and pulling it in and vampiring because you don't know what anything is and you actually don't care. But if you know
Yeah.
who you are, you realize you're a the spirituality. There's just so many things. There's just, and you don't have to fight your feelings. And when you meet people, you know,
Yeah,
and
you're comfortable with yourself. You know who you
yeah,
are. You know how things work, and yeah, and knowledge is very important to share. You can't put a price to knowledge. It has to be shared.
Yeah,
on that,
I was just sorry. Well,
carry on.
I was
Yeah,
just going to say how the doctors and that the medical profession they try and split your brain from your body.
yeah,
Now they work in conjunction because if your mind's all over the place, it manifests in your body, and if your body, it's the opposite way. It manifests in your brain. Not, it's like confusion, permanent confusion, and fighting. You know, the good and bad in ourselves and that. And if you try and understand who we are, and that hopefully those things will dissipate and there won't be as much of a conflict once you understand yourself. And I'm just basically repeating what everybody else
yeah,
just said, but
yeah. No,
in
but
my
it's
own
good.
words,
Yeah, yeah. No,
basically.
definitely. Yeah.
If you know, I'm not, no one who knows themselves has this perfect life. You still have problems, issues, and things to sort
Oh,
out.
That's external though,
a
Karen.
perfect
But
life doesn't exist. I've,
yeah, but
I've,
this lady, Yolanda Vendover, I think her name is, she wrote this book and she said, life's like a house. You've got the basement, first floor, second floor, third floor, and then you go up to the attic. And she said, but what it is most people live in the basement. It's cold, dark, dingy down there. No one knows where they're going. No one knows what's going on, and they're all bumping into each other. And she
uh,
said, basically, that's where 95% of people live. And even when you get to the first floor and the second floor, it's not that you sorted everything out, but by the time you're going up the floors, you might have looked at it and thought, yeah, now those are areas of myself I need to look at and understand. So you haven't sorted everything out, but you're beginning to. And by the time you get to the attic, which sometimes is hard, you can't be unconditional all the time. There is sometimes it's okay to say, what about me? But you get to the attic, and she was saying, there's a cobweb up there in the corner, but actually, I don't need to clean it because you've understood and you're so unconditional now. Life will sort that cobweb out. So, but what she's meaning is you're not worrying the same and you sort the things out. So you don't have to worry about those things. But it's just that bit when I read that, it's cold, dark, dingy down there. No one knows what's going on. Everybody's bumping into each other and no one knows how to sort anything out. It's just so society.
great metaphor. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, you get it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. No, brilliant. Yeah. The way that Montecchia describes with all this negativity in your organs, that he said it's compost. You got to compost it. You make it fertilizer.
See, it's really strange because they say things like the sun is really bad for you, but say you've got cancer, oh, go and sit in the
Oh
sun.
gosh. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like, but
No,
we're
we
not.
need the sun.
We could go on for ages though because
Yes, we can.
it's just. But I've really enjoyed that. Thank you so much, and obviously we will do this
Absolutely my
again.
pleasure. Thank you very
And
much.
season, I can't say those words anymore, but seasonal greetings.
Ah,
Oh,
I've got a new one for. I heard you talking about morning, good morning, and stuff. I
I
don't
said
like that
hello last
either.
night on a hangout where we
Yeah,
said hello, and I was thinking, no, you can't say that anymore because it's
yeah.
hell.
What do you think of this? Because the morning used to be called aurora. So if we say good aura, I think that
Ah,
sounds
I
good.
like
And you
that.
can use it
Yeah.
in the afternoon and the evening as well. Good aura and good
Not just
aura,
that,
everyone.
that's
Yeah.
positive, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
so positive.
yeah. Good aura. It feels good as
Hey,
well.
Come on, Karen. Let's start a thing now. Everyone's got to say that.
Yeah, good aura.
Good aura.
Good aura.
Otherwise, we'll think we're crazy if we say that. Good aura.
Hey, for everybody listening, watching, good aura.
Good aura, everyone.
It's better than actually saying hell. Oh, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
We don't. That's another subject, guys. That's all about understanding the words and what they mean. More into etymology, but you know, when you look at it, when you say hello to someone, I know we're saying hi. You know, it's positive, but really, what you're saying is hell, 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 and actually, good aura, because the aura is you, is your aura of the day, and you know, the more positive rather, better your aura. Good aura.
Good aura.
Yeah, I really like that. What a good note to end on.
Nice one. All right.
Yeah.
We'll make a date just now. Did you stop recording?
No, we're gonna say goodbye now. So
good
thank
aura
you very
to everyone.
Yeah, good aura, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you so much. What I can't say your name now. Miriam.
Miriam.
What it is I have a Danish friend called Marion, and I just yeah, I'm stuck now. Anyway, a little mental block there, and it's so rude, really, because you're so lovely.
Well,
anyway,
I don't mind. Robin Hood was always a hero of mine, so never mind. So Marianne is fine.
I keep reminding Karen it's Miriam.
Miriam, I don't know what it is. I've got it just that stuck in my brain.
It's fine. It's better than a horrible name calling thing, isn't it? So, and you've got the first and the last letter right. So,
I say it right. I say it sometimes, and other times I go to say, oh, I want to say Miriam. I just anyway.
Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you very much, and big hugs. And
love you, Miriam. I nearly said it myself then.
Bye-bye.
Love you
Bye,
all.
everyone.
Bye.
Love you, Karen.
Bye, everyone. Love you too.
Bye. Bye.
Love everybody.